All right, so in relation to when the Direct came out, I am a little bit late to the party, but I did want to talk about the Switch 2. So, the Switch 1 was a console that, when it was announced, I was pumped for it. I think I saw the video for it back in November 2016. That was like must have been their Direct then or something. And it was just an awesome system. I was like, whoa, this thing you can play at home. You can play it as a handheld. You can even set the thing up and use it as its own TV and use the little Joy-Cons as remotes and play two-player like anywhere. It also was pretty cool how it just seamlessly switched between handheld mode and TV mode. And during those days, I was bouncing between my place and like a friend's place all the time. And I thought, this would be awesome. All we have to do is like get them a dock. I can bring my Switch over, plug it in their dock, boom. Now we're playing my games on their TV. And it's just so much more convenient than, like, let's say, a regular console. You know, I'm thinking GameCube because I had a friend back in the day. When GameCube was a thing, he used to bring his GameCube back and forth. And I always thought that was probably cumbersome to unplug your whole system and all that, bring the games. It's big, not big, but, you know, relatively speaking, it's a big, clunky system compared to a Switch. It's just nice and slim. So, yeah, it was cool. And I was very pumped about getting one. I wasn't able to get mine until about a year later. I got mine in March 2018. The thing launched, I'm pretty sure, around March 2017, if I'm not mistaken. So I was about a year late to the party, but yeah, it was cool, and I still think it's a pretty cool console even to this day, all these years later. I mean, what did I say? I got it in 18, so 7 years later, and I still think it's cool. The only thing I don't like is its battery life absolutely sucks, but other than that, I'm still very satisfied with it. But after watching this Direct and learning about the Switch 2, there's a lot that I have to question. I mean, first off, just right out the gate, Switch 2. That's the name they came up with? Like, how uninspired, how low effort is that? There's literally no effort. They're like, well, what are we going to call our next console? How about we just call it what it is now and slap a 2 on the end? Ooh, that sounds good. And maybe you'll say, oh, well, PlayStation does that. Why aren't you going to make fun of PlayStation? They've always just added numbers. Yeah, but the difference is that's what PlayStation did since day one. When PlayStation 2 came out, they called it PlayStation 2. Nintendo has never done that. They've always had a name for their console. You know, the first one was just NES, Nintendo Entertainment System. Okay, kind of generic. And then they came out with Super Nintendo. Yeah, it's not very fancy of a name, but it's effort. It's not just called Nintendo 2. It's Super Nintendo. Then the N64, that one was kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you know, it describes what it was. It's a Nintendo product, and it's a 64-bit device. So, that's kind of like, man, I had an analogy earlier, now I'm forgetting it, but still. And then GameCube. You know, again, it's kind of super cheesy of a name because it's just describing what it is. It's a cube-shaped device that you play your games on. But then, like, when the Wii came out, the Wii had two names. First off, it was originally called the Revolution. I remember reading the Nintendo Powers, and they would talk about it as Revolution. Oh, when the Revolution comes out, blah, 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 and, you know, all this. And then eventually it changed its name to Wii. Even the Wii U, that's kind of a boring name. It's almost like Wii 2, but it's still a little bit of effort. I don't know what the U is supposed to mean, per se, but at least it's something. Then Switch comes out. Again, it's a new name. It's not like the Wii 3 or something, or the Wii U 2. It's Switch. And then all of a sudden, now Switch 2 is just Switch 2? I mean, how boring. And the logo is stupid, too. It's this Switch logo with, like, a giant 2. Oh, wow. So much effort put into that. Like, I guess my whole point on the effort is because of how much they want to charge for the console. They want to charge $450 for the system, right? Which, for Nintendo, that's pretty dang steep. I mean, geez, I don't remember what GameCubes were on launch day, but I know GameCubes ended up getting pretty cheap. I mean, towards, like, what would be the end of their life, GameCubes were sitting at around, like, $100 for a system. I'm pretty sure that's how much I bought mine for. Actually, I'm saying towards the end of their life. I didn't get my system at the end. It still had, like, 2 years left or something when I got mine, 3 years left, and it was $100. You know, even Switch 1... that launched at what, $300? Yeah, and now the new OLED version's $350. So to pack on $100 on top of, like, your premium device that you're currently offering is kind of ridiculous. Especially, like I said, for Nintendo. I mean, at that price, it's like, why would I want to get a Switch a Switch 2 when I can just get a PS5 for just about the same price. I mean, PS5, one, already has a well-established library of games. You know, the Switch 2 is brand new. It barely has anything. You go on GameStop's website, there's 2 pages, and there's not even that much on page 2. I think it's like 2 games, and they're just coming soon. They don't even have images or anything yet. So, you know, why would I pay $450 to be able to get like 6 games maybe when I could get a PS5 and have a huge library available to me? Also, we know the PS5 is a high-performing machine, and it has good output and all this. Yeah, they say the Switch 2 has capability of going up to 4K, but it's like, you know that's going to be on select games only. It's going to be like Nintendo proprietary type games. The Mario games will get it. Maybe Pokemon will get it. Stuff like that. Regular developers aren't going to worry about that because that's going to take up more space, and it's going to be, you know, just more unattractive, more effort that these developers are going to have to put in. So it's not even going to be highly utilized all the time. You know, like I said, it's just going to be those niche proprietary games. And maybe once in a while, some one-off company will try to make a 4K game just so then they have, like, that edge. Ooh, our game is 4K. But otherwise, regular developers, they're going to be like, yeah, 1080 is good enough. 720 is good enough. It's always been good enough for Nintendo. It still will be. You know what I mean? Like, and, like, I don't know. They claim that it's going to have more memory. Okay, well, first off, more memory shouldn't cost more because if you go to the store, hard drives and stuff are pretty cheap now. You can get like a 4 terabyte hard drive for like $70 at Walmart. So you can't say it's because there's more memory why it costs more, because memory is not a thing anymore that costs a lot. Yeah, maybe in the early 2000s it was, but now, not so much. I mean, you can get like a 16 gig hard drive for $5. I remember when a 16 gig hard drive, well, not hard drive, but a flash drive, was like $50. Now it's $5. So you can't use that excuse. You can't use the excuse either that, oh, it has potential of 4K, because if it's not going to be guaranteed utilized all the time, then who cares? Also, I think the 4K, if I'm not mistaken, is only available when it's in docked mode. So that's not even really the console 4K. It could be the dock upscaling and all this. You know what I mean? Because the console itself doesn't have 4K in handheld mode. I don't remember offhand what the specs were, but it's not 4K. It only does up to like 1080 or something in handheld mode. So it's not even the... So I guess right there, that tells you it's not even the device that's doing 4K. It's the dock. So... where at least the PlayStation 5, it does do 4K. It doesn't need a special device of the dock to help it. It just does do it. I don't know. Then the other thing that is kind of like I guess you could say a letdown about the Switch 2 is it's basically exactly the same thing as the Switch 1. Same design, same all that. Oh, okay, the design's slightly modified. Overall, though, it's the same thing. It's extremely derivative. Like, these designers that came up with this, they started with the Switch, tweaked it a little, and said, here we go, I got a new console. I made it slightly bigger. I slightly changed the kickstand. Oh, and I changed the Joy-Cons. So instead of them mechanically fitting like they used to do, mechanically snapping together like they used to do, now it's going to be magnets that hold them. Which, on one hand, okay, maybe that's cool. But on the other hand, I'm like, I don't know if that's actually a better design choice to have magnets. Because magnets can wear out over time. And sure, like an adult who has the console like me, we're not going to wear out our Joy-Cons. We're probably not going to unsnap them all too often in the first place. So they're just going to live conjoined to the system, whether it's in docked mode or handheld mode. Obviously handheld, but a kid, let's say you get this for a kid. That kid's going to be fooling around, taking them off, putting them on, taking them out, just having fun playing with the magnets, basically. And then they're going to get worn down and a little bit weak, and then what happens? You know, I mean, if the magnets get weak on the Joy-Con, okay, fine, just buy new Joy-Cons. But what if the magnet in the system gets a little weak? Now what? Now you got to, like, make sure you're putting pressure to hold your Joy-Cons there because the magnet's not strong enough anymore. I don't know. I could be an idiot. Maybe I'm way off on what I'm talking about there, but I'm just thinking that maybe the magnets isn't the best choice. It sounds cool, but I don't know if it really is the best choice. Also, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, obviously they must have designed this in mind and stuff, but isn't putting magnets up against electronics usually considered a bad thing? So to have magnets in your electronics seems a little bit crazy, but like I said, maybe they already designed around that so there's like barriers or whatever so that the important stuff can't get affected by the magnet. I don't know. But I think what we have now with the mechanical fit is perfectly acceptable. All the issue was the drift. They just need to fix their Joy-Cons, not fix how they attach to the system. How they attach is just fine. You just need to make your drift go away. Make sturdier thumbsticks or whatever. Not thumbsticks, but the peripheral that's under the thumbstick that's connected to the actual electronics. Tighten that up or whatever that you got to do. But anyways, then that's another thing. Speaking of kids, Nintendo is usually known as being the family-friendly console. It always has been. Nintendo's never been like PlayStation. PlayStation, I feel like, is for adults. It's mature. And then I feel like Xbox is kind of in the middle. Xbox is like, it's the console. It's like, yeah, I can be family-friendly, but at the same time, if you want to game seriously, I have that available for you as well. Where Nintendo's just like, yeah, what's up, kids? Hey, we're super family-friendly. Well, half the time, we don't even get M-rated games. I mean, Nintendo actually with the Switch has gotten a lot of M-rated games, but typically, Nintendo shies away from that. But anyways, this one being expensive seems a bit crazy. Now, granted, adults are the former kids that grew up with the video game boom, like myself. So we might still buy the console just because, we think it's cool and we're going to buy it. But what if you have a parent that doesn't care about video games? They're not going to be interested in paying $450 for a console for their kid. And if they are, it's going to be something that, they might be, but it's going to be something that's going to be something special, like birthday or Christmas, and then the kid gets like nothing else because they dropped so much money on a console. I mean, maybe that's a weak point right there. I don't know. I'm overthinking. But one thing I'm not going to overthink on is the games. The games prices are very ridiculous. I don't know what Nintendo's trying to do, jacking up all the prices like this, but like selling your games for $80, $90 is absolutely insane. I mean, back to what I said in the beginning, GameCube used to sell for $90, or $100, I mean. And so did like Game Boy Micro and all that. When that was actually, Game Boy Micro was very cheap. Towards the end of that thing's life cycle, it was $50 new at Walmart. Now, so, you're going to charge games for more than you sold an entire console for? That's ridiculous. And the problem with that also is, not only is it ridiculous on Nintendo's part, but it's going to set a terrible precedent. Now companies are going to be like, oh, hey, look, Nintendo did it. They're charging $90 and people are buying their games. I guess we'll charge $90 too. Because what the heck, people will pay it. So either what's going to happen is it's going to kill the video game industry, or people are going to be stupid and pay for it and just keep complaining, though. Oh, I can't believe games are so much, while they're standing in line with 10 games in their hand. And then it's just going to ruin the game industry in that way. So either way, the game industry is going to get ruined. But back to the kids, though. So maybe my example that I was trying to come up with was saying buying an expensive console for your kid. Maybe that was weak. I didn't really think it through. I just started talking. But this one's not weak. If a kid wants a new game and it's $90, like, the parent's really going to be like, I don't know, son. I do need to get some groceries this week. I don't think I have the money to drop $90 on a game for you. Granted, $60's a lot, too. I mean, if you're in that bad of a pickle that you were worried about if you're going to be able to afford your groceries, you wouldn't buy your kid a game at $60 either. But if you want to look at it in like a more statistical way, $90 is 50% more than the standard $60. So when you look at it that way, that's a lot. You buy 2 games at this new rate. It used to be 3 games. So you're getting essentially a lot less bang for your buck. And Nintendo tries to say, oh, well, we're charging more for games that have a lot more put into it, a lot more effort put into it, a lot more features, a lot more replayability. First off, games should always be designed to be very replayable. You shouldn't design a game and think, yeah, you're going to play this once and never want to touch it again. They should all have that in mind. It's kind of ridiculous that they're trying to use this as an excuse. But second, again, Nintendo trying to say that, oh, we're going to charge more for games that we put more effort into. It's like, okay, what is the effort? The games that I've seen in the Direct are nothing special at all. You have Mario Kart World, which looks just like any other Mario Kart. The graphics don't look any better. The sound isn't any better. The gameplay doesn't seem any better. Yeah, they're trying to brag about, oh, yeah, you can transform between sea and air, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, you could do that in the last Mario Kart too. Mario Kart 8, that's not a new feature. What are you talking about? You can also do that in Sonic transformed and stuff like that. Like, this isn't a new gimmick. What? That's your selling point? And then the other selling point is, oh, well, it's like open world now, so now you can just drive around wherever you want. The race ends and you can just drive around. And it's like, okay, in theory, that's kind of cool. But in the videos I've seen, it looks really pointless and seems like it'd be kind of boring. Like, you drive around for a little and be able to explore, like, oh, this is cool, I'm playing Mario Kart and I'm just dicking around in the overworld. But, like, after one time doing it, it's not going to be, like, something you want to do anymore. It's going to be like, okay, that was cool, but like, I don't care. Let me just do the race. And, yeah, so I don't know what they're trying to talk about. More effort. Okay, so more dumb gimmicks that nobody cares about. You add it to your game and now you're going to charge us more for it? Like, again, what about, like, let's say PlayStation? They have Blu-ray capability. You have a dumb cartridge. And chances are you're going to have to download half the game because your stupid cartridge has limited space available on it. Where Sony has Blu-ray discs that hold a lot of storage, and you just need the one disc with no downloads to have your entire game. And it's all 4K and super good graphics and great audio and all this. They don't charge more. So what makes you so special, Nintendo? It's ridiculous. And and what about Donkey Kong as well? Donkey Kong isn't as egregious as Mario Kart is. That one is, that one's going for what, 70? Kind of like they did with the stupid Tears of the Kingdom or whatever that Legend of Zelda game is called. But it's like, that game doesn't look that special either. What is so much extra in there that you're charging everyone $10 more for? It looks pretty dang basic to me. A standard run-of-the-mill Donkey Kong game, but we gotta pay more for it. Why? Even these games that they're offering upscaling on and stuff. It's like, or is it upscaling or is it just the Switch 2 version of existing games? It's a game that already exists and they're charging $10 more. It's like, okay, cool. Like Breath of the Wild. That's $60 like any other normal new game. And for some reason, Switch 2 has it for $70. Why? What is so special about a game that technically came out on Wii U, okay? It's an old game by, like, any kind of gaming standards. And now you think that when you re-release it for your new system, it should cost $10 more? I mean, if you had the game on Wii U and you have it on Switch, why even bother buying it for Switch 2? You already have it twice. You've probably beat it twice. You're going to pay $10 more than regular MSRP to beat it a third time on a different console? It's ridiculous. And then, yeah, back to what I was saying before about the memory. That's another selling point that they're trying to have. Oh, yeah, I was talking about this, and I got sidetracked. So the storage, they're saying, oh, it's going to have more storage. It's gonna come with 256 gigabytes of internal storage versus the current thing, which is only 32. Okay, on the surface, that's pretty cool. Great. Awesome. Thank you. I don't know why you gave us such limited space for it. That was annoying to have to buy all these stupid SD cards. But here's what I'm thinking is going to happen with the new ones. With the new storage, that we have. The games aren't going to be the same file sizes they currently are. I'm sure they're going to be a lot larger. So either now we're going to have bigger, there's going to be bigger save files, or there's going to be bigger downloads required on like every game. Oh, you're going to download 20 gigs of data to get the whole game. And all this, and then before you know it, that memory is filled up. So even though they're giving us more, it doesn't matter. It's not like it's apples to apples. You know what I mean? Like now, if they offered a regular Switch with 256 gigs of internal memory, that would make a difference. But I'm pretty sure with their new system, bigger game files and all this, it's not going to matter. It's going to basically even out. If you could save 10 games on your system before, you'll still be able to save only 10 because these files are 10 times bigger. And then that's another issue too. They're going to have special memory cards now. You're not going to be able to use a regular, M2 little flash discs, whatever the heck they're called, like you currently can. Which, yeah, Nintendo offers its own variety, but you could still buy just a regular SanDisk one or even a Walmart on-brand one, and it would work just fine. That's what I did. I didn't buy the Nintendo one. I didn't care about that. I'm not going to pay more just because they put like Mario or Toad on the thing. Just get a regular one. But now, nope, can't do that. Now you have to get the special Nintendo branded one because nothing else will work. Like, that's ridiculous too. So, now when I want extra memory, I have to give you my money to get the extra memory? Thanks, Nintendo. That's cool. So now when you make all your games have all these massive downloads, I also have to give you more money so I can actually store those games on my console to play them. Cool. Then they get this live chat thing, which is such an absolute joke. Jeez, the preview they offered, I thought about it, I'm like, this is like literally the best that they could offer. Ads obviously always feature the best of what there is. You know, you look at a food ad, it's always got perfect looking food, whether it's from a restaurant or just regular cooking or whatever. You know, it's always perfect condition. So obviously that video that they put out there in their direct, that's like as best as they can get. These people were probably playing over the internet in the same building, like a room over from one another, with like super high-end great internet, and yet it still looked like crap. First off, oh man, getting dry here and heartburny. Anyways, first off, the video quality is absolute garbage. It's like a 480 camera. Like, seriously? What is this, 2005 or 2025? You finally introduced a camera for your console, and that's the best you can do? I'm pretty sure Kinect back on the 360 had better visuals than this thing. Like, seriously? Second, when the game is playing in their demonstration, it's like laggy when you're trying to use the people, you know, have the people on the bottom of your screen. The game becomes laggy. Like, are you serious? That's the best you can offer? A laggy experience so you can see your friend's face on your screen? That's also ridiculous. Then what's possibly even more ridiculous, to top all this off, you have to pay for this trash service. You have to pay through Nintendo, through your account, to be able to utilize your crappy camera and have your game get laggy so you can see your friends on your TV. Like, what is Nintendo thinking? Hello, have you not heard of Discord, which is free? Have you not heard of Teams meetings, which is also free and isn't laggy and all this? Like, what in the world? And what's even dumber is they added a button to their controllers, like a little C button that enables the chat that you have to pay for. So they put a stupid button on their controllers that probably a lot of people aren't going to ever use because you have to pay to use it. Like, how ridiculous. Sure, I guess if you do want to pay to use that feature regularly, then the button's convenient. But for normal players, that's so stupid. You got a dumb button on your controller that's literally going to just be a waste of space. And then you'll probably accidentally hit it. And then I'm sure some nonsense will come up like, oh, you don't pay for the service. Do you want to join up? Or some dumb nonsense. Or for me, I don't even have internet. So it'll be like, oh, you're not connected to the internet. Can't access this right now. And it's like, F you. I wasn't trying to access this, but your stupid button was in my way. Like, man, that's just very, I don't even know what the word is that I'm looking for. Like, full of themselves? Like, oh yeah, people are definitely going to want this feature. Make sure you put a button on the controller. And then, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, then they have that gimmick. Like, on the surface it sounds cool, but it's like, you know how dumb that is? The little mouse gimmick that they came up with. Yeah, on the surface, that's cool. Like, oh, wow, that's a cool idea. But when you stop and think about it, nobody's going to utilize that. No game company is going to utilize the stupid mouse functionality. Nobody wants that. Nobody's interested in trying to hold their dumb little Joy-Con like a mouse and do stupid games that way. Like, the only games that are really going to get that are, like, Mario Party, maybe some other random party games like Rabbids, you know, Raving Rabbids, like one of those games. Maybe if they make another Rabbids versus Mario, they might sneak it in there. If they do like another Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, you know, party games like that will have the feature. But otherwise, no serious game is going to be like, oh, you get to use the mouse feature to do this. Like, it's dumb. And if it is in the game, it'll be an option. Kind of like now, how you can use the Joy-Cons and have, use motion and all that, or you can just use a regular Pro Controller and just play the game like a normal person. Like, that'll be a thing. Oh, you can use the mouse feature or just play the game normal and not even worry about it. And nobody's going to worry about it. They're going to be like, yeah, that's stupid. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to play the game like a normal person. So, like, cool idea, sort of, but just really dumb and impractical in the grand scheme of things. Like, I feel like they did not think this through. Someone came up with the idea, and they're just like, yeah, that's cool. Let's do it. I don't know. Overall, I just think that the Switch 2 is... I don't know how... I feel like it's probably going to do well. I'd like to say it's going to fail, but I doubt it. It's going to do well. People are stupid. They'll all complain about the price and all this, but they'll still go out and buy it day one. The thing will be sold out within minutes of it being launched in the U.S. But, you know, it's just ridiculous. It's just a terrible business model on Nintendo's end. And it's potentially setting a terrible precedent moving forward with other companies, like I already said. And they're definitely, I don't know. I don't want to say moving away from their family-friendly reputation, but come on. Charging $90 for your dumb games isn't very family-friendly at all. That's very adult-friendly. Not even adult-friendly. What am I saying? The adults are the ones complaining. The kids don't care. They're like, hey, Mom, can I get this? It's $120. You got that, right? Oh. God, this coughing's annoying. I don't know. I mean, at first, like, a lot of people were talking about Switch 2 coming out, and I was like, this was way before, you know, when people were just complaining, come on, Nintendo, release the Switch 2. And I always thought, I'm okay with Switch still being out, because Switch 2 means that you have to buy a new console. It also potentially means that you lose all, like, your saved files that you've had. Not so much because you lose your saved files, per se. Can I go this way? But just because, sorry about that when I said, can I go this way? Usually when I make these long-form discussions, I'm driving, and I'm on the highway, and they're doing road work, and there was an exit, but the way that they had, like, the truck and everything set up, the way I need to go, I couldn't tell if I could actually go that way or not. And I was like, I don't want to do this, and it's illegal, but at the same time, I got to go that way. I don't know. Like, the truck clearly said exit, and I'm like, if I go that way, I don't know where to go. I'm going to be lost. So I just tried it, but yeah, we're fine. I had a ton of people behind me too, so I was like, good, even if I'm doing something illegal, there's other people following me, so we're all doing it illegal together. Anyways, dang it, what was I saying now? I lost my train of thought after that little incident with the road work. Yeah, I don't know, though. It's what was I saying? I don't know. It's just a bad look on their part, and the prices, and they try to justify them too. They had videos come out where they're trying to justify charging $80 or whatever, $90 for Mario, and it's like their justifications suck. After you watch it, you're like, okay, and that doesn't make me feel like, oh yeah, I understand where you're coming from, Eddie. I'm still just sitting here like, okay, and cool reason, if you want to call that a reason. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying about the Switch 2. I wasn't too excited about it because I was like, well, you know, I don't want to lose my save files and stuff. Not that you'd lose your save file, but because, you know, a new system comes out, so you're not really playing your old system anymore, which means that's where all your saves are. But then the Switch 2 was announced, and I was like, all right, that could be cool. You know, get a new system, freshen things up, get better visuals. I am working on, like, a game room anyway, so I was like, ooh, that could be cool to put it in there. You know, still keep my regular Switch in my living room, but then put this in the game room. That'd be cool. But now I'm just like, ugh, I don't know. Like, I feel I have a lot of weird mixed feelings about this. I'm like, either A, I'm just going to, like, give up on gaming. I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, not give up on gaming per se. Like, I'll still play my games all the time. I just mean give up on, like, buying new games and new consoles, and just give up in that regard. Like, don't buy it anymore. Because I think about it, and I'm like, you know, for one, it is a very expensive hobby. I waste way too much money on my game collection. And I'm like, I could use that money for so much more, like, adulty things. Maybe save money and get a sweet car, or do a lot of work to my house or something. Or not even a lot of work, just, like, some stuff that I think about that's maybe not important. But if I had the money, why not do it? You know what I mean? So, you know, put it towards that. Or just save it. Just have the money. Just have it for whatever. Instead of wasting it on games all the time. I also think it's just pointless because I'm very busy. I don't have time for games anymore. You know, when I was younger, when I was in high school and my early college days and middle school and all that, yeah, I was a kid. I had all the time in the world for games. I know it's not a lot to some people's standards, but I used to play like 2.5 hours of video games a day, every single day. Now I play, I don't know, 5 hours a month, and that's always with my daughter. I never play by myself. I play on the weekends when I have my daughter with me. And even then, it's not every weekend. It's just whenever there's actually opportunity, then we fire up the Switch and play some Minecraft typically together. So I'm like, what's even the point? I buy all these games and it's just for my collection. Yeah, my collection looks pretty cool, but it's kind of pointless at the same time. So that's option one. Maybe I just quit. Option two is, well, maybe I suck it up and I just buy the Switch 2 just for like the cool family-friendly games so I can still have those, to play with my daughter. I also like the Pokemon games, so if I get the Switch 2, then I can still buy the new Pokemons. And basically what I do is, instead of just wildly buying games that just seem cool, whether I actually know about what they are or care about them or anything, like I currently do, then what I could do instead is actually focus and just buy games that I know I'm definitely going to want and definitely going to play. So, like, I hate to say it, but like Mario Kart World, that would be one that I'd play. That's a 2-player game. I can play that with my daughter and stuff. It would get usage. Or like I said, the Pokemon games. Sure, they'd get played. I could buy that. But don't do like I do now and just buy anything just because it seems cool. Just really zero in and be like, nope, don't need that game, don't care about it. Nope, don't need that game, don't care about it. And just buy the ones that matter. And just have a really limited Switch 2 collection. I could do that. I mean, my third option would be to just ditch Nintendo and go to Sony. I mean, I use PlayStation. That's what I grew up with. The only reason I have the only reason I really focus on Switch nowadays is because, again, it's like a family-friendly console, and it's something that I have because of my daughter, so that then we can play games together, and there's a lot of good kid-friendly options on it for her. But, she's also getting older now, so it's like, well, what the heck? Maybe I could just go back to my roots, I guess, and get a PS5 and say, F you, Nintendo. I got the adult console now. I don't know. That's an option. Or the other option I was thinking is kind of goofy. I could just completely switch gears and just start, buy like a really good gaming PC and just become like a PC gamer. I say switch gears because I've never been a PC gamer, ever. At best, I've played like, those point-and-click games on a computer. But otherwise, I've never actually seriously gamed on a computer. So it's like, well, maybe that's what I could do. I mean, PC has everything, so except for Nintendo stuff. But otherwise, it's got everything, so it's a great option. And I was looking on GameStop's website, and they have a lot of games for very cheap. So I'm like, hey, I could get a huge library. It wouldn't even cost me much. And most likely, it would be all digital, so it's on the PC. So it's taking up no space, There's no actual collection. It's all just sitting there on the hard drive. So when you look in the room, all you see is a computer, nice and neat and tidy. I don't know. But yeah, it's a weird situation to be in now, and stuff to think about with Nintendo, because this is terrible. And like any other company or politician, of course they're not really listening to the fans. It's funny, they've had live streams after they had the direct, and people are just spamming in the comments like, drop the price, drop the price, drop the price, over and over and over and over again. And Nintendo's not dropping the price. They don't care. They're just betting on everybody being stupid fanboys and still just paying it. And they will. People will. Because that's how dumb they are. They'll hate the price, but they'll still shill it out. Anyways, I think that's all I had. I wanted to cover every aspect of this dumb console that I could. I think I got it all covered. So, yeah. I guess that's it. So, thanks for listening to me. And until whatever I have next, I said see ya.